Results matter. And we looked at all the coaches and therapists and spiritual. They don't measure anything. Nothing. I spent all this money. Nobody measured a thing, which is an issue. So we measure everything because results matter to us. That's how we were able to develop a system that gets such great results, because we were testing it and refining it and optimizing it. And because results matter so much to us, people say, Daniel, this is too good to be true. There's no way you can get rid of this stuff. You certainly can't get rid of this stuff in 6 weeks. And I say, look, I get it. You're skeptical. Nothing works that well. There's tons of stuff that overpromises and underdelivers. So how can you trust what I'm saying? The reason you can trust is because results speak. My dad said results matter. The person that gets results, you should trust. When people work with us, they do not pay at the beginning. You only pay at the end when you have clear, measurable results, keyword results, that what you are struggling with is gone and not coming back.
Let's learn how our next guest gets up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lunid, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Daniel Packard. Now, he is a UC Berkeley mechanical engineer turned CEO of Permanent Anxiety Solutions. He turned his painful battle with severe anxiety into a mission to actually develop actual steps and solutions to help others do the same. After 8 years working with over 3,000 people in 5 different continents and over millions of dollars in research and testing this out, Daniel has pinpointed, and he and his team succeeded in reverse engineering this innovative process. I am thrilled. I'm super excited to have him on, and he's found a way to solve any type of anxiety, not just temporarily, not just a Band-Aid. We're talking about permanent. So with no further ado, Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Lunid. Hello to your audience. I know we have some entrepreneurs and some business people and people that want success. And we're going to be talking about, not management, no more Band-Aids, just full life upgrades. And what your audience is going to learn is the root cause of anxiety that we learned to solve is also the root cause of procrastination, perfectionism, people pleasing, and low self-confidence. So if you don't identify with anxiety, or you do, and those other behaviors, I'm going to help your audience understand how you can move beyond just managing them, and it's always getting better, and you're a recovering people pleaser. If you just want to keep managing things, then you can leave the podcast now. If you want to understand how we reverse engineered a way to be free of this stuff so that you can really fulfill your potential, that's what we're going to be talking about right now. Does that sound good to you?
It's perfect. I love that. And let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go ahead and really, truly do some deep work in getting rid of the anxiety, because you find it a lot in entrepreneurs. There's that, what do we call it? Imposter syndrome kicks in because we don't deserve it. We don't feel like we're worthy. And that creates an anxiety within itself for us to build our business or to work in our genius zone, to kind of live our purpose. So Daniel, I know we are both elated for this topic, but let's talk about your personal battle, like how you got started that kind of led you to this, from engineering to what you do now.
Well, it's a good question, because the passion of our company is results, not only measurable results, meaning when people go through our programs, we're measuring their symptoms, meaning their procrastination, people pleasing, confidence, anxiety levels with emotional biomarkers. We're measuring, and what we're doing is solving, meaning you're free. And people say, Daniel, you're an engineer. You're not a therapist. You're not a psychologist. Like, what are you doing getting better results than the experts? And the key is the word result, because growing up, my dad was a physicist. And when I was young, he sat me down and he said something. He said, Daniel, anybody can have a theory or an idea. It's results that matter. That's who you know knows what they're talking about. Results matter. And it stuck with me, this idea that results matters. And so the love of results took me to engineering school, UC Berkeley, and I was properly trained how to engineer simple solutions to complex problems to create things that work and get results. And I was really good at it. Now, the good news was I knew how to make machines work, but they didn't teach me how to make relationships work. And so, yeah, I could make a robot that could play ping pong, but I was an anxious, procrastinating, people-pleasing, insecure perfectionist. So like, how good was life? And so, I went looking for help like your audience, and I went to therapists and psychologists and coaches and gurus and teachers. And after 10 years and $100,000, I could manage it. It was better, but I was still in pain, and I felt broken. I felt trapped and honestly a bit pissed off. And because I wasn't living the life I wanted to live after 10 years. And so on one particularly pissed off, broken day, I just looked up at the sky to whoever's up there listening, and I just said, what do you want from me? Like, what am I missing? Now, I was just being angry. I didn't expect an answer, but I heard an answer, which was what my dad told me, which was results matter. And it just woke me up out of this fog that all the therapists and psychologists and coaches and trainers, while well-intentioned, they don't get great results. $100,000, 10 years, and I still have my problems. You take your car to a mechanic and $100,000 later, your car doesn't run, you're going to be pissed off. But we just tolerate this. And I said, on behalf of myself and all the people struggling who want real freedom, I started my own research company with the mission to see, could I use my engineering training? Could we engineer this and reverse engineer a way for people to move beyond managing things to just be free of them? Now, it sounded good. It was a really noble cause, but it was way harder than we thought. But engineers are tenacious problem solvers. That is what led us to the breakthroughs, was the tenacity and the focus on this one thing, solving it. And if it took 8 years, we worked with addicts in South Africa. We worked with monks in India. We worked with entrepreneurs and business owners in Europe. We worked with teachers in the US. And after 8 years and over $1 million in research and development, we finally cracked the code, which is that now we have a 6-week process where if you go through it and you work the steps, you get results, and we measure your results. So you know you get the result. And the result is that whatever it is, the anxiety, the people pleasing, the procrastination, the perfectionism, and the low self-esteem, it's gone and it's not coming back. That's what engineers do when they focus, is real freedom. And when you're free, you can be that entrepreneur, that business leader you want. Right now, your audience is struggling, but they're smart. They work hard. They can push through it. But if you are free of it, it just unlocks your potential. That's what we want to give people.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you said 10 years of experience, $100,000 and no results. And, I want to ask you, as the expert with the experience in this, I find it that with therapy or traditional methods of going about it, it's just we're reliving the trauma, we're reliving the past, as opposed to actually dealing with it. And I'm coming from a place of, your thoughts are everything, right? And what you focus on is what's going to continue to grow. What you keep dialoguing and having this conversation about is what's going to continue to grow. And being able to, where you come in, is being to deep rooted, and root it out of there and pluck it out so it doesn't continue. It has no seed, it has no ground, there's no bearing anymore. And I find it, and so you can chime in on that. Reasons why the traditional therapy is challenged.
Well, yeah, therapy. People have their issues with therapy. There's obviously a lot of different types of therapy, but not even therapy, coaching, spiritual. The issue is that these people are generally learners and sharers. That's what they are. Whether you're a therapist, a psychologist, a coach, a spiritual teacher, you've learned something that helps people manage it and understand it, and you share it. And that's fine. There's value in it. But they're not focused on a solution. They're not problem solvers. That's what engineers are. Look at what engineers and scientists do when we focus that problem solving ability to the outside world. All the technology that we have, all the innovations, that is trained Jedi level problem solvers that innovate. The problem is the people we go to for help aren't problem solving innovators. They're learners and sharers, and they're just regurgitating the same old stuff that manages it but doesn't solve it. So I said, well, what if we take the skill set that innovates and gets incredible results on the outside, and instead of me focusing on the outside, we focus on the inside? That's the breakthrough, is that you got a group of people that normally innovates on the outside. We innovate on the inside, and results was key, not just teaching and learning and growing and exploring, like results, baby. Results matter. And we looked at all the coaches and therapists and spiritual, they don't measure anything, nothing. I spent all this money. Nobody measured a thing, which is an issue. So we measure everything because results matter to us. That's how we were able to develop a system that gets such great results, because we were testing it and refining it and optimizing it. And because results matter so much to us, you know, people say, Daniel, like, this is too good to be true. There's no way you can get rid of this stuff. You certainly can't get rid of this stuff in 6 weeks. And I say, look, I get it. You're skeptical. Nothing works that well. There's tons of stuff that overpromises and underdelivers. So how can you trust what I'm saying? The reason you can trust is because results speak. My dad said results matter. The person that gets results, you should trust. When people work with us, they do not pay at the beginning. You only pay at the end when you have clear, measurable results, keyword results, that what you are struggling with is gone and not coming back. I'm going to say that again. You do not pay at the beginning. You pay at the end once you have clear, measurable results that what you're struggling with is gone, is not coming back. Think about that. There's literally 1 million therapists and coaches globally. 1 million. Not a single one backs up their results like that. Why? I'll leave that to you to decide, maybe because they're not getting great results. But what does it say about the fact that we back up our results like that? Like, what does that mean?
Let's dive into it. Let's talk about the how you provide relief, permanent relief. Let's talk about the system.
So 2 things I want to be clear on: the theory, how this is even possible, and then the application, because that's really key. As my dad said, anybody can have a theory. There's tons of theories on procrastination and people pleasing and anxiety, lots of theories. Anybody can have a theory. Even we have a theory. The key is, how do you get the results? And the results is that we have a system. This is absolutely key. We saw that what primarily people have, no matter what theory you have, usually people go to therapists, psychologists, and coaches, and usually they get like one tool here and one tool there, and they go and practice it, but then they fail, and then they beat themselves up thinking there's something wrong with them. But if you look at what creates real change fast, it's almost always a system of multiple tools, not one tool, multiple tools that are optimized to work together to get the job done. Just makes sense. If a contractor shows up to rebuild your house, they have a set of specialized tools to rebuild your house. If your contractor showed up with just a screwdriver and was like, I've got one tool, I'm ready to rebuild your house, would you trust them? Of course not, because you'd be like, where's the other tools? So the reason people fail is because they go from one tool to the next tool to the next tool. What you need is an optimized toolkit that's been optimized and tested to get the job done. But the other thing you need is something else, because even if you get everything you need something else. So let's say you have a friend who tastes a chocolate chip cookie and they're like, this is delicious. I love chocolate chip cookies. And they want to make a chocolate chip cookie. And you hand them everything they need, all the tools, the bowl, the mixer, the water, the flour, the egg, the oven. You give them everything they need, but they have no idea how to bake. If you give them all the tools, but they don't know how to bake, are they going to be able to make a chocolate chip cookie?
No.
Why not? What's missing?
The skill, the baking ability.
Yeah. Well, the instructions. Mm-hmm. What to do, in what order, when, and how. When I spent all that money on coaches and therapists, even when they gave me a tool, they'd be like, here you go, good luck. And then I would try and fail. And so the system that we spent all these years developing and optimizing, it's not just a full toolkit. It's very simple, easy to follow instructions. What to do, on what day, in what order, for how long. It's the toolkit and the simple instructions. And if you have the toolkit and the instructions focused on the root cause, can you see that maybe what we've figured out isn't too good to be true? Maybe it's what's out there just is too inefficient to work.
Okay, so it's a 6-week program. Give us a snippet without asking for the whole program release here. What is it? What are the steps that you take? What would week 1 look like if somebody comes in with anxiety?
So my goal is to help people understand this is even possible. So I'll tell you what the program is based around, because that's more valuable. And that's the big breakthrough that we had. So as engineers, we looked at how people were struggling. And we said, how can we solve this quickly? And what we saw was that people don't have individual problems. People have symptoms of one thing, which is fear. Anxiety is really just a lot of fear. Procrastination is a fear of starting something or finishing something. People pleasers are afraid to not be liked. Insecure people are afraid to be rejected. So you don't have individual problems. You have different symptoms of one thing, which is fear. And then we said, okay, if we want to help people solve this quickly, we have to figure out, how do you solve fear? Everyone else is saying overcome fear, face the fear, reframe the fear. We said, get rid of the fear. And what we discovered, and this was a big breakthrough, was that fear is not coming from the mind. That's where we're told it's coming from. And it's not coming from the mind. Fear originates in the body, specifically the nervous system. Your nervous system is your body's mechanical threat response system. And if your nervous system, it's got the word nervous right in there. So we got millions of scared people, and there's a system in the body called the nervous system. And the experts were like, yeah, let's go to the mind. What? It's got the word nervous and system. And if you've got a system, systems can fail and systems can be repaired. So if your nervous system is out of balance, you will think you're under attack and you will feel unsafe. If you feel unsafe, you'll then feel fear. If you feel fear, those symptoms of fear, those coping mechanisms of fear will pop up, the procrastination, the people pleasing, the anxiety. So we figured out why the nervous system was malfunctioning and making people feel unsafe. And then we spent several years to figure out a system of how you can quickly repair your nervous system. When you have a healthy nervous system, you get to feel a beautiful word, which is safe. Not temporarily, not because you did a mantra, not because you meditated, not because you wrote in lipstick on your mirror. Your default, you just wake up every morning feeling safe, which is what I have. And when you wake up feeling safe, the fear lifts. When the fear lifts, the symptoms of the fear lift. So for your leaders out there, your entrepreneurs, your business people, they'll work hard. But if you feel unsafe and fearful, it's going to slow you down. But how much better would life be if you woke up every morning and you just felt safe from the inside out?
A heck like easier. It would be a lot easier.
It's not just easier. It is, yes. But when you're free of it, it unlocks your potential, because when you're always managing things, it takes a lot of energy to always manage. If you're in a negative mindset, switch to a positive mindset. If you have the fear, to overcome the fear. When you're free of it, it just unlocks you. I had a client come to us who had anxiety and a fear of public speaking, and he figured out through tips and tools how to manage the fear. But he was always managing the fear. The fear was still there when he was on stage. He went through our system, and about 4 weeks in, he just said, I just gave the best talk of my life. And I said, why? He said, the fear was gone. So I was more authentic. I was more spontaneous. I was vulnerable. I was a true communicator. And he said it helped with his communication with his wife and his kids. So when you feel safe from the inside out, you're not just managing symptoms. It unlocks your potential. So no more Band-Aids, just life upgrades. That's what I want for people, because that's real freedom. That's what people want. That's the results that we get for people.
Yes, very well said, Daniel. And so for those listening, advice you would have with somebody suffering with anxiety right now, who is riddled by this fear that you just mentioned, what's one practical thing they can do this minute?
Okay, two things. One is for everybody, no matter what you struggle with, the procrastination, the people pleasing, anxiety, whatever it is, the reason you still have it is it's not your fault. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You went to the experts who literally sent you to the wrong location, the mind. They didn't give you all the tools, and they didn't give you instructions. That's why you still have this. This is not your fault. You are not broken. The experts that you trusted, while well-intentioned, had an incomplete understanding of how to solve the problem. That's why you still have it. You are not broken. You do not have to live like this. So that's the first thing I want to say to you that I wish someone had told me, because you feel broken when you can't fix this stuff. So you are not broken. You are not trapped. This is not your fault. The second thing I would say, and I could be biased, is the breakthrough that we saw was there's no one tip or tool. That's fine if you want to manage things. If you want to manage your anxiety or procrastination, people pleasing, one tip tool, there's plenty of tips and tools if you want to manage. I am allergic to management solutions. So the step you should take, We spent 8 years. That's all we did for 8 years to figure out a system so you can be free of this quickly, where it's literally no risk to try. So what's the one piece of advice? Figure out what we do, go find out what we do, see if it's a good fit for you, and do that. If it doesn't work, you don't pay a penny. When it does work, you get to feel safe and free and fulfill your potential. Come on. That is a very good value proposition. So again, I could be biased, but this energy you see in me, this excitement, this enthusiasm, people are like, what do you want? I'm not on anything. It's my nervous system. I feel safe. It's my default. So naturally, I can't procrastinate, Lunid. I can't. I'm so full of passion and enthusiasm. I don't give a flying fudge what anybody thinks of me. There is just virtually no fear in my system. And so what you get is fulfillment and joy. And so I know part of your audience is thinking, it's too good to be true. Okay, all I'm saying is I was not always like this. I was an anxious, insecure, procrastinator.
Looks like we lost
audio. Oh, no.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. So perfect. This is all natural. I'll just assume this is all natural. I look in who I am is not because I work on myself or I'm in it. This is just who I am, my default. I wake up every morning full of joy and purpose and fulfillment and energy and all those things that I used to struggle with, the anxiety, it's the perfectionism, people please. It's just like gone. And then you're just free and you get what we're all here to feel, which is happy and fulfilled. So you can tell how excited I get because this stuff works.
Well said. And I'm curious to see how you incorporate some of the steps, ensuring your nervous system is free of fear, and how you to wake up refreshed, ready to go, and not super boggled down by the exhaustion of having to manage your anxiety or fears. So let's talk about your morning routine. How do you get up, dress up, and show up?
Well, I know this isn't the answer that you want to hear, because the system that we developed is designed to heal things. And when you heal things, you're done. Like if you break your bone and then you put a cast on it, that bone is healed. There's nothing to do anymore. You don't have to do a bone healing meditation. You don't have to realign your chakra to work on your bone. Once your bone is healed, you're done. So before I developed this program for me, I had meditation in the morning. I had affirmations. I did all this stuff to put myself in the right frame of mind for success. But now, because our system is designed to heal, it's just my default. So I just wake up every morning calm. If there's just nothing to do, that's real freedom. Kids, when they wake up in the morning, no kid says, I'm going to do a finger painting meditation. Kids don't have any morning routine. They wake up open-hearted, confident, free, energized, because they have a healthy nervous system.
They need naps or they're cranky. There's something that needs to be done.
Yeah, they have to take a nap, but I'm just saying their natural state is not because they're doing anything to maintain it. It's their natural state. And sometimes people say to me, Daniel, I don't even know what it would be like to be free of all this. And I said, it's the kid version of you. Kids have a healthy nervous system up until about 3, 4, or 5 years old, before it gets all jumbled up from, when shit goes sideways. But kids wake up positive, confident. You ask a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an astronaut, unicorn pilot, circus performer. You'll never hear a kid say, I have sabotage. I'm afraid I'm a fraud. So kids have tons of it. So if you're listening to this, think of that version of you at 3, 4, 5. You were open-hearted, confident, energized. That version of you is still in there. It's just covered up by a nervous system that makes you feel unsafe and afraid. So if we heal your nervous system so you feel safe and the fear dissipates, that open-hearted, happy, passionate, spontaneous, playful version of you is just naturally there. And best of all, it's permanent. So you're free of it.
So Daniel, you're talking about rewiring of some sort.
Sorry, what did you say?
You're talking about rewiring of some sort, rewiring the nervous system, rewiring, just like, what are we talking?
Well, close. You're not rewiring it. The body is very clear and has very clear operating instructions. If you don't take care of it, things will go into disrepair. If you don't get enough sleep, if you don't drink enough water, if you don't brush and floss, if you don't eat the right foods, your body will start to show symptoms of not taking care of it. Now, it's not broken. It's just in a state of disrepair. So we realize that 10 to 30 times a day, people are doing things. Nobody is trained how to take care of their nervous system. We know how to brush and floss. We know how to sleep. We know how to drink water. But the nervous system, we weren't trained to take care of it. So if you don't know how to take care of it, eventually it's going to show symptoms of not taking care of it. So over the 6 weeks, you basically understand how to just daily do the simple daily habits that bring your nervous system back to health. And it's the accumulation of moving from unhealth to health that then brings your nervous system back to health. There's no rewiring. It's just like if you didn't get enough sleep, you just get enough sleep. If you don't drink enough water, you just get enough water. You were never taught what your nervous system needs, so it's in a state of disrepair and you feel unsafe. We show you the 28 things you need to do each day. You only need to actually do 3 of the most important, and that will naturally bring your body back to health. Your body will heal on its own. When you break your bone and you put a cast on it, you don't have to rewire your bone. You don't have to do affirmations for your bone. The body heals itself if you just take care of it. So we show you how to take care of your nervous system. It heals on its own. When it's healed, you feel safe. When you feel safe, the fear goes away. When the fear goes away, the symptoms go away. And don't come back.
Very intriguing stuff. So, tell us. So where can we find you? How can we connect with you? How can we find out about the steps?
Well, as you know, I like things simple. I like things simple. Did I make this simple for you?
Yeah.
Good. So I like things simple. My name's Daniel Packard. So you go to danielpackard.com. And this is, if this resonates with you, if you're somebody that has anxiety and you've been working on it for a while and you just want it gone, we get people that every day. That's how we can help you. If you have procrastination, people pleasing, insecurity, and you've been working on it, but you just want it gone and solved, we help people do that every day. We can help you with that. That's who should come to danielpackard.com. You can get information on our program. You can also get some free resources if you want to learn more. And then if you're intrigued, you can book a free quick call with me. I'll learn more about you and your unique situation, and then I'll show you how we can help you go from managing to just fully being free of this so you can just be happier and fulfill your potential. So if you want to understand more, book a free quick call with me to see how we can help you. Go to danielpackard.com.
I love the sound of that. Freedom. How do we get freedom from it all? And I really appreciate you sharing with us today, Daniel. It's been such a pleasure having you on.
It was an honor to be here.
Fantastic.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.